Well, good afternoon everyone. Welcome back to the Life's Good. I'm in the greenhouse again. There's still a few things in here that I need to attend to. It's a little bit calmer than yesterday after the arrival of April. So I've had a tidy up and I'm now looking at catching up with a few tasks and chores with regard to some of the remaining plants and seedlings in here. It's been a bit of a chilly morning, and that's a tenuous way to lead into the fact that I wanted to show you what had happened with the chilies. If you remember that I used some plastic containers that used to contain tomatoes, and they had a lid on the top, and I used them as mini propagators to sow my chili seeds in. There's been a modicum of success with that. One lot didn't germinate, whereas the other two did. Now I did find that the little lids on the top were creating quite a lot of moisture once the little seedlings started to germinate. So once they germinated, I cut the lids off and let them carry on. Now I'll just lift these up and show you that this is the red bell pepper. I'm sure you can see that. The red bell pepper, I sowed the home saved seeds in this little plastic container that did have a lid on here that sort of hinged down and clipped in place. I had to remove the lid once the seeds germinated. These were planted on the 26th of February. If you saw an earlier video of mine that included the sowing of these. Red bell pepper saved from seed that I had from a pepper that I used in the kitchen. And these, as you can see, have germinated quite well. I've got quite a few little plants in here coming on nicely. I'm going to prick out the strongest of these into individual cells. Let them come on a bit more before I pop them up or put them into some containers to grow, probably keeping them in the greenhouse this year, or certainly under cover, or I may construct something using some timber and some plastic sheeting that I have to make some sort of a mini tunnel greenhouse type construction to pop these plants in. This, as I said, is the red bell pepper. I also had some success with the red chili, the Pinocchio's nose type chili. So they've germinated well. There's a lot of seeds that didn't. I can see those sitting around here. But out of these, I'm going to prick out the biggest and strongest of these into individual cells. And the same as the red bell peppers, I'll probably keep these all in pots in some sort of purpose-built construction that I've yet to design, build and locate. But we'll come to that at a later date. However, having shown you those two, the green chili did not germinate. These were a complete failure. I've got nothing in here whatsoever. I have no idea why that is. I did mention it to some friends of mine and said, you know, the red chili's fine, the red bell pepper's fine, but the green chilies haven't germinated. And they commented that maybe the plant had been treated with some sort of chemical treatment or fungicide to prolong its life in the supermarket or during storage that may have had an effect on the seeds contained within. Interesting point. We've got an aircraft going over. That's always the case. Whenever I'm filming, there's at least one interrupts. I'm sure it's okay. It'll be gone soon. I'm sure you can still hear me. So yeah, my friend said that it may have the chili may have been treated with some sort of chemical. Interesting thought. I had no idea. They said that to get satisfactory germination from seeds from shop bought vegetables, I need to be selecting organic vegetables. Never thought of that, never crossed my mind, but it's a very interesting point. So maybe they're correct, and these did not germinate because the original plant or the chili had been treated with something to prolong its life, colour, longevity in the supermarket. That I don't know. Just an interesting thought. So organic veg in order to harvest seeds to germinate. Interesting. If you've got any thoughts on that, people, if you'd like to comment and let me know, I would really like to know. It seems a logical explanation as to why these did not germinate, and yet the others did. They came from different stock or different packets, so interesting thought. Now the other thing, if you remember, I saved some pumpkin seeds from a couple of pumpkins that we had last year. We made soup, we made chutney, all manner of things from the pumpkins that we had, but I saved some of the seed, and I did the same with that. I dried them out on the windowsill, saved them, and sowed them in this 24 cell tray. Now look at these. I've actually got success. Now I didn't have enough saved seed to fill the whole tray. What I had was a few seeds, about half a dozen seeds left over from a packet of seeds that I purchased some 2 to 3 years ago. There's about 6 or 7 seeds left in the packet, and I put those in the end of this tray. Well, there's interesting, because the ones from the packet of seeds that were clearly out of date have not germinated. The ones that I saved from the pumpkin in the kitchen have germinated, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17, 18 little pumpkin plants there. 18 plants saved from a pumpkin, or the seeds were saved from a pumpkin that we had in the kitchen. Interesting again, the out-of-date seed did not germinate. So, as I said before, lessons learnt here. Old seed is probably a waste of time bothering with. It's a waste of effort, waste of time, waste of compost, waste of energy. Old seed's no good. So in the future, I will not be hanging on to seed. I'm either going to give it to friends, swap it in a seed swap. It's easy for you guys to say. So I might swap them at a seed swap. Bit of a tongue twister. So yeah, pumpkins grown from saved seed from a pumpkin that we had in the kitchen. So I'm hoping that I can find locations for these out in the garden. I can't accommodate all of them. They do grow big. They do sprawl all over the place. And so what I'll probably do here is I'll pass them on to friends, family. I'll do a swap, or I may even pop them outside the front of the house and offer them for sale for a few pence. So success again with pumpkin seeds. Right guys, well I need to carry on and do a few things. I wanted to prick out the chilies. I've shown you the pricking out method before. I don't think I need to keep repeating that. Just using a small dibber, small tool. This one's a good one, as I showed you, the funny little green one. I've got others. I've got various little greenhouse dibbers and a little spatula and things. Anything, even a pencil or an old biro, you can use to prick out, as it were. You lift the seeds with a little tool, lift them out, separate them into individual seedlings, and plant them into individual cells or individual pots if you like. If you've got no cells, you can use pots. You can use the inside of toilet tissue, those little cardboard rolls. You can use little yogurt pots, anything you like to serve as a little vessel to prick these little chilies into, to let them grow on a bit stronger and a bit bigger before you move them onto a bigger container, or even in the ground if you wish, later on when they're more mature. Well, I'm going to carry on with these things. There's not an awful lot else to show you, I don't think, here. Oh, there is one thing, I'll tell you what. Before you go, or before I let you go, I'm keeping you a bit while this afternoon. Tomatoes, these are my Elsa Craig tomatoes that I sowed on the 26th of February. And as you can see, I've got successful tomato plants growing. This one has actually germinated. I don't know if you can see that. It's so tiny in there. So 2, 4, 6, 7. We got 7 out of the 10 little pots here. So I'm pleased with that. Again, I'm a bit restricted for room, so I'll use the ones I can, and any that I can't, I'll pass on to friends or swap for something or give them to somebody that wants them, whatever, and or even sell them outside the front of the house. I do that sometimes, just for a few pence. It recoups a bit of cash back for the cost of the seeds at the end of the day. Not involved in making lots of profit, but it's just great fun. People are grateful for the plants. So yeah, tomatoes growing as well. Right guys, I need to let you go. I've got things to do. The sun seems to have gone behind cloud It's getting dark again, and there's probably another aircraft due over any minute. I'll let you crack on, and I'll speak to you again soon on the Life's Good. You all take care. Don't forget to subscribe and come back and visit anytime you want. Bye bye for now. Think I'll wait in here for a while. Let these hailstones stop falling.